Well, we're getting near the end of our report for you from the Annapolis Boat Show. Mr. Clean Sailing Anarchy. I have a real treat here with me. I've got Jeremy Wilmot from Australia, Northern Beaches, yeah?
Northern Beaches, yep.
And Jeremy, you probably already know, is sailing's first real chance, I think, at a movie star. And he's a little uncomfortable every time I say that, but having seen Morning Light last night, I think he has a shot. And if this movie actually can make it into the mainstream, this kid has a hell of a career ahead of him. He might actually have a nice one ahead of him anyway. Having gone and led Morning Light as the skipper to Hawaii, taking second in class in a really tough race, one of the toughest Transpacs really in history. I mean, light air, a lot of upwind work. But, you know, you guys seem to have had the most amazing team. Talk a little bit about the people that you sail with, Jeremy.
Well, obviously, if you see the movie, we were all incredibly close and just bonded so well. So it was an easy job for me in that regard. Everybody got along pretty well. Sadly enough, sorry to say, it's a bit Disney, but there weren't too many like big arguments or any bad things I had to deal with, really. On the sailing aspect, it was just everybody in the boat was so determined to win the race and push so hard that they could handle me getting up them every now and then and pushing them that extra, 3 hours a day more than we were planned on. So I was in a pretty lucky position.
Well, we talked a little bit last night about what you just said, which is, I mean, I've crossed oceans, and anyone who's been in a long race would be shocked, I think, and will be a little bit surprised to see no drama. I mean, not even people telling each other to fuck off. I mean, pretty. I mean, I just didn't see any conflict. You couldn't see any conflict at all. Was it really so conflict-free?
Yeah, it was. It actually was. It was just. I think our coaches just pushed us so hard and didn't give us a chance to sort of think about it too much. Like, we were just told to focus so hard on our jobs and keep the boat pushing. And they kept it such a friendly environment too. The training, and I think they were very good at seeing if something was getting out of hand. They addressed it before it went any further. So, and then once I became skipper, it was sort of like I had to read into that a bit more too. So just I think Roy and Robbie especially did a really good job of just being on top of everything, just to make sure the team is bonding and focused on the goal ahead.
What about I had a funny thing from one of the guys that was on the trimaran that was filming, or the catamaran that was filming you guys,
Cheyenne.
and Cheyenne, yeah, the old Cheyenne, and he said that the real drama, the real reality show would have been to film them.
Yeah, they were funny. Like we didn't see them too much, but that boat goes pretty quick. We were doing like 12 knots. That thing's capable of doing 25 to 30. So they would just sneak up from nowhere. Like, 1 second we're sailing along by ourselves, the next second we have this catamaran right on our stern, and they're like goofing around doing flips on the trampoline and stuff. We're like, just like.
Well, and having seen the movie, that the production did a really good job of keeping everybody out of it. It's really rare that you actually see the photo boats and the helicopters.
Yeah.
But you obviously saw all of that.
Yeah.
Was it distracting? And what about Rick Deppie on board? Was he distracting?
We were really lucky to have Rick Deppie on board. He knows the boat better than all of us. He's been doing that for years. He's got a lot more experience than any of us on board. So he was good at. He didn't slow us down one bit. Like, we were just practicing maneuvers, and he was just, caddying the camera gear and knew exactly where to be and where not to be. So having him on board was definitely what made the film a great success, like just in the filming and getting those shots. But off the boat, like, they did a really good job, like the production side, of just staying out of our hair. So before I became skipper, it came down to what Robbie and Stan wanted to accomplish that day. They would set goals, and then we'd go out and do them, and sort of the production side had to work around that. So it was really good. It was never us sitting down at the start of the day and them saying, okay, this is what we want to accomplish. This is where we want to get these shots. You got to be here at a certain time. It was like, okay, you're going to go do that today. Okay, we'll come and caddy around. We're going to come in with a chopper at this time maybe, and we'll just meet you wherever you are. So it was really good. They really didn't disturb us that much.
You had obviously some real emotional times, but not so much on the boat, other than your battle with Samba Pati. But I think when you had to cut, obviously, 4 of your closest friends, as you put it, how did that feel?
It was tough. I didn't really. It was really tough just to get out to them that it's not personal. They're all like my best mates, but they knew what was going to happen, and it's such a hard position to be in, to tell your best mates that they're going to miss out on this great opportunity. So just trying to get my head around that whole night, like how do I break that to them? That was sort of something that just went through my head a lot, and then afterwards, after I made the decision, I was just I didn't sleep that much, just thinking about whether I did make the right decision and who's on the boat, and I always left it open to change and substitute, but it was just at the time it was just very tough. And I was lucky to have some coaches who just sat me down and said, it's a part of sailing, get over it.
Yeah.
So,
and really any team sport. I mean.
Yeah, it's just a part of it all.
So your parents have seen this now, right?
Yep.
What about your sister and brother?
My brother and my younger sister has, but my brother and sister in Australia haven't seen it yet. So.
You got a younger sister here in the States too.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, Jeremy's older sister is Sarah Wilmot, who runs a great little cafe just outside Sydney, and is a successful sailor on her own. Jeremy's brother is Nathan Wilmot, who after his 3rd Olympic campaign just walked away with a gold again. That was his 2nd gold, right?
No, he came into Athens the favorite, and it just didn't go his way.
That's right.
So this one was this was just
so this
incredible.
was sweet, huh?
This was very special.
You proud of him, huh?
Oh yeah, followed him every second.
Right on. So you now are sailing for St. Mary's.
Yep.
In Maryland, right?
Yep.
And what do you do after that?
I mean, once I get out of there, I'll leave with my degree, and I want to get back to focusing on what I love, which is ocean racing. So, I mean, my dream is still to do the Volvo, so I'll get back and try get out and log some miles and try get in touch with anyone in that industry.
Well, I think they'll probably get in touch with you. But we'll see. Let's talk about, we're shooting on a 32, a Melgus 32, because I just found out that you've been calling tactics on a pretty successful 32 called Blixen.
Yep.
What's it been like sailing that fleet?
It's incredible. I did like far 40s a little bit, but I come from a skiff background, so being able to call tactics on a one design skiff with some of the best sailors in the world, like in the fleet around me, it's incredible. Every day is just a learning experience, and it's like non-stop fun. I just got back from the Big Boat series over on the West Coast, and that was just unbelievable. We had 9 boats screaming downwind doing 22 knots within a minute of each other. So, I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah. We also just heard that Alex Jackson, the owner of Speedboat, has just jumped into the 32 fleet. And apparently he's got one of your mentors calling tactics for him, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be sailing against my old coach.
Mike Sanderson, Moose.
Yeah.
Obviously one of the most respected ocean racers ever.
Yeah.
So how's that going to be?
It'll be intimidating. But, I've been in the fleet longer, so
yeah.
I'm going to see if I can use that experience to stay on top of him for a brief little bit.
Well, it takes everyone a little while to get this boat handling down this boat, you know that.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this boat is it's a far 40 you can sort of get your head around the boat handling pretty quickly, but these boats, you'll see the best teams in the world out there broaching. Again, the Big Boat series was an example of that. They're just so much fun. You can never relax on them either. You hike upwind, you hike downwind.
Well, I think that's why that's a big reason why people are getting into them, and why even in this economy, an expensive little boat like this is really taking off. So you're going to be sailing the entire winter series, right? They've got a 3-race winter series. We got Lauderdale, Key West, and then Miami.
Yep.
So I think they're predicting like 25 plus boats for most of these, and
yeah,
it should be pretty intense.
It'll be fun to sail against those guys.
So let's go back to Morning Light for a second. How do you feel about the potential of the movie?
I mean, I surf a lot. And I watch all the documentaries and stuff, and I think something about this movie is just everybody can relate to it. Everybody gets that passion in them, and I think you can see the passion in this movie that we have for our sport. I think everybody shares that in one aspect of life. So I think it's very like people out there, ordinary people, can relate to it, which is good. And at the end of the day, it's just another great adventure. So I think if enough people hear about it and go see it, you won't be disappointed. It's a good story, and I mean, I'd watch it again and again and again. It's not one of those movies that you see where you know, it's not a documentary where you see once and you're like, okay, I've seen it. You know, that's it. It's sort of a movie that I've seen 3 times now, and every time I see it, I notice something new, and I was in the race, so you know, there's lots of surprises in it.
Are there any parts of the movie that you wish had made it in that didn't? It's really hard to. I mean, you know, there's things that you know are on the cutting room floor that were great, and you wish were there. Can you tell us a couple of them?
There were a couple of days in Hawaii that were just incredible. We had one day where it was like 35 to 40 knots, and we were just going out there. It was the last day before we packed the boat up to go over to the west coast, back to the mainland, and we just decided instead of motoring the boat around, we'd set sail and go for a little burn. And as we got out of the slip and went out into the ocean, our heads got knocked around, like our hats blew off. We're like, whoa, this is full on. And it was just unbelievable out there. We were just holding like 25s, hitting 28s, and the boat was just sitting there, just waves like white water coming across the deck. That was one of my favorite times over there. And then sailing back from Hilo, they couldn't show all of that, but this is another trip we did back from Hilo. It was with Moose, and we did some night sailing, and it was just so much fun to have him right behind us the whole time. He was like in our
pushing
gear.
hard.
Yeah, just like, you know, trying to get that extra half knot out of the boat. Like, it's funny, like when you're going 22 to 25 knots, Moose is in your ear saying, okay, push it a little bit more, okay, get more trim. You know, it was incredible to just have him just making us just throw that boat around and get it going, just light it up.
How long you think this group of people is going to stay in touch and stay close?
I don't think we'll let ourselves grow apart. I think we'll always be at each other's weddings. We'll have reunions, and hopefully we just keep doing the Transpac together.
Got a nice pool of crew to draw from that you trust, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know we can get along for 10 days or 11 days and be starving at the same time and still not kill each other.
That's
or
fairly amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. We actually, they didn't show it so well, but they did. Is that we ran out of food pretty intensely though. I think the lowest amount of weight that someone lost was like 9 pounds, and the highest was like 25.
Wow.
Yeah. So
on a 10-day race.
Yeah. So it was like we had enough food. It was just the guys were pushing so hard. You can sort of see that in the movie. Everyone's grinding. There's actually a little joke in the movie about how much we were grinding onto waves and stuff, and just working the boat. But, yeah.
Let's see. What else do I want to know from you? Have you sailed in the 24, in the Mobius 24 at all?
Not really. We're looking to expand Blixham into a Melges 24, so we can
all right.
take on.
Well, I hope to see you on that. That's my fleet. So
I'm obsessed with these Melges boats. It's so much fun.
They are a lot of fun. They do a good job. All right, man. Well, look. Good luck. I think we'll check in with you in a few weeks after the release, hopefully, and we'll maybe try and get some more follow-up from you.
Yeah.
But I want to see you. I want to see you take this thing and run with it. And we wish you the best of luck. Anyone that wants to get in touch with you for crewing opportunities or anything like that, how do they do that?
Well, they can do it through Robbie Haynes, or I mean, you can contact me through Morning Light pretty easily.
All right, good. So you know how to find him. This guy can probably make your big offshore boat go fast. Try and make sure it has a canting keel. I think he likes those.
Yeah.
And we will see how this movie goes and check back with Jeremy. Thank you, man.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
It's good.